Hello and welcome. In today's lesson, we want to see the importance of relationships between MX access tables. This is a very challenging topic, and most of the people take a lot of time to understand this concept of relationship and why it is important to have more than one table when you are managing MS access data or data in any other database management system such as Oracle, MySQL, SQL Server, and others. So, the most important thing why it is important to organize the information in more than one table is to ensure that we don't repeat information. The information is not duplicated. Let me give a very simple example. Assuming we are in a hospital and we are recording information about patients. Once I have recorded a patient's information in one department, and this patient is taken to another department, it may not be necessary to again repeat the same information, maybe a patient's name, residence, next of kin, again when this patient goes to another department. That one will be like creating a repetition. And in the same way, if, for example, you are recording information about items, and this item is being shifted from one department to another, once you have recorded the information about this item in the first place, when it is being referred to in the second place, we don't need to record the same data which we had recorded before. So it helps us to avoid duplicates. And that is why we have to create different tables, then just relate them using what we call relationship. To relate them means to link the two tables together, as you will see later. Another reason why it is important to have relationship between tables is to avoid blank cells in the database table. This is very common, especially if you put everything in one table and you are recording, for example, information about students in school. Then there is a column of that table where you are recording school transport. Not all students will be using school transport. So if the first student is indicated as using school transport, the next student who is not using school transport, having a box where you record transport, you'll have to leave it blank. Assuming now it is a big school with 1,000 plus students, and like a quarter of them do not use transport, you'll end up having cells in the table which are blank because simply those students are not using the transport. So if you have a relationship between tables, you will avoid blank cells in the database table. Another reason is to ensure that there is integrity, okay? There is integrity check. When data is being deleted or when data is being added, the database management system, such as MS Access, will check for you. If whatever is being inserted is related to another piece of information somewhere, it will demand that you complete across all the areas where you are supposed to record the information. Or if you are deleting a particular data from one table, and that information is related to another information somewhere, the database management system will give you a warning and tell you cannot delete this data because it is related to a certain piece of information in another place. For example, let me give a simple example. If somebody is a student in the college and we recorded some information about this student in the library section. If this student is going to move to another college and the student is being cleared, and it happens that we are shifting the student's status from being active to inactive, and there are some books in the library which this student has not returned, then the database will detect and be able to give us a warning that there are some library informations which is related to this student. So you cannot change the status of this student to inactive until when the library section is sorted. That is what we call data integrity. And these checks are very, very important, especially if you are dealing with high-stake data like financial data or any other data related to big organizations. Let us go ahead and try to explain the importance of relationships in tables by a simple example in MS Access. I am going ahead and starting MS Access. And we are going to assume that we are managing information in a small sports club where members come register, then they pay monthly subscriptions, and there is also a canteen in that sports club where they can go relax, take some drinks here and there. And we need to have a one central database for managing all this information. If we don't have, then it will be difficult to manage different activities which are running there. Because a member in the club today will go to the canteen and drink something, then you are not aware, and it will not be recorded somewhere. And later, this person will drop from membership and will be cleared, and we are not aware that this person took some foods on the other end. So having a central database system to manage this will make it easier for us. So let us just assume this is called Karen Sports Club. Okay, that is the name of the club. We are just assuming it is called Karen Sports Club. So the first thing I want to do is to create membership table. So I will just click here, view, and go to design. Then I will have membership as the first table. Let me just use capital letters. Membership as our first table. In the membership table, we will have member ID. This is a unique identifier of each member. And this one, I will have short text here. Then I will have first name, short text. And next, I will have last name, short text. Residence, where the person is staying, that can be short text. And finally, maybe phone number of the member, that is also short text. Let me switch to the datasheet view and record information about these members. So assuming we are going to give them member ID starting with letter M, then some numerals. Let's have John here. And this person stays in Lavington. Estate. And maybe phone number. Like that. next member, Emmanuel Clark, and stays in Karen. Number. Then the next member, Sarah Jones, stays in Parklands. Assuming we have these three members, I'm just using this as an example. Now, this is where we are recording personal details of the member. Of course, there are other details we will go ahead and record, like their subscription, which they pay per month. But we don't want to record that financial information here, so that we don't have repeated empty cells in the database table, or we also don't want to have one table without integrity of the data. So I will go ahead and create another table and call it subscription, where we will be recording information about the members, what they are contributing. So I will just have this closed. And I can always open it from here. So I will go ahead and create another table in the design, under table design, and I want to have subscription number here. Then this one, I want it to be auto number. Each time somebody pays an amount, that payment will be given a unique sequence. Then I want to know which membership ID made the subscription, and I also want to know the pay date it was paid. Let me just have it as payment date. This one will be date and time. I also want to know the amount how much they paid. This will be number. I also want to know payment method or mode of payment. Payment mode is very, very important. And also I want to know payment details. If there is any check number or something, it will be recorded there. Short text. Now the first record here is unique. It will contain unique values, so I have to make it a primary key. If two tables which are being related do not have primary keys, then the relationship cannot happen. So you should always ensure that the two tables have primary key. Let me go ahead and call this subscription. And switching to datasheet view, I can go ahead and record something here. For example, you remember there is one member ID with M001, and let me just give it a random date. and we enter amount, maybe 56 bucks. Then the payment mode, you can just rate check, and the payment details, maybe we have check number 2, check number 201. We move ahead. Then the other member, M003, also contributed. Maybe March 25th. Maybe paid 45 and used M-Pesa. Then another member paid probably this will be April. And maybe paid 70 and paid cash. M003, maybe 2, paid on 3rd April. And maybe paid 100 check. Number 37. So this is an example of data which is being stored in the subscription table. But you can see here we don't have details which are recorded in the membership table, because we will finally relate these two tables using this column of membership ID. By having a member's ID here, it is clear now that we know who is this person. If we want that person's name, we will be able to run a query to extract that person's name. So let me go ahead and record some details from the canteen. So I can have another table here. Let me call it canteen table design. We have transaction number. Let me have this as auto number. Then we can have here member ID, which is short text. Then we can also have goods bought, goods used, a description. If somebody maybe took a soda or bought a piece of soap or some lotion, we will be recording there. And here we have to write the date, transaction date. It is very important. And also quantity. can have a quantity here as number and price for whatever was used. That one will be a number. Okay, let's go ahead and make this transaction number as primary key and record a couple of things here. Then we will be in a position to relate the two tables. Let me just call this canteen. Remember, we are assuming our club so far has 3 members. So here, member number 002 took some things here. Bottle of soda. And the date, maybe the date was 1st March 25. And took 2 bottles and each was $2. Then M001 consumed queen cake. Three took a loaf of bread in the same date. Two quantities and the price is 3. So this information is from the canteen, and now it is referring to the same people, but the activities they did in 3 different places. Okay, so here let us go ahead and save this. So the first activities were membership. This was done maybe once when the members were joining the club. The second activity is the subscription. This one, each time they pay every month, we are able to record the information here. And also the canteen, each time they go to the canteen, consume anything, we record the information here. Now, one of the main reasons we use a relationship is to avoid repetition. Let me explain something here. Here, we have single rows here for each member. Assuming if we want to extend this table so that we record things like each time somebody pays, we record here. Then it will mean one person here will have so many rows, and this membership number we will have to put so many rows for it. Each time somebody pays, we insert a row, assuming we are using this one table to record everything. But to avoid that repetition, that is why we have separated the transaction. This member is only recorded here once, and a new member who joins will be recorded here. Whatever is happening in the canteen is being recorded there in the canteen, but there's a link between the membership details and the canteen details. Because of this membership number, we are able to know who is this person consuming in the canteen. And if we want to know the name of that person, we will go to this membership table and will show us the details. Also about the subscription, we don't need to record each time somebody pays. We just record somebody's name, don't know membership details. We don't need that. We only need to record the membership ID of that person. Then the other information should be related to subscription. such as the payment date, amount, and the method of payment. But these three tables right now, they are independent. So we have to create a relationship to join them so that they become one table. To create a relationship, you just go to database tools, and in the relationship here, you add all your tables. Okay, now you can see here, all my tables are here. Now the main table is this membership table. And in order for you to do any relationship, the primary key of the main table should appear in other tables. Like here, this is the primary key of the membership. It is also appearing here in the canteen, and it is also appearing in the subscription. That is the only way you can relate the table. If the primary key of the main table is not in other table, you will not be able to relate that table with the main table. And to create a relationship is not difficult. Just drag this member ID on top of the member ID. You can see them like this. Then we enforce integrity. It is very, very important to enforce this. If you don't enforce, it will not be there. And when data is deleted in the main table, whatever is related to it on the other table will remain there. The database will not give a warning that you cannot delete unless you take care of the data in other tables. But if you don't enforce, then you can delete in the main table while leaving other data related to whatever you are deleting in the main table, which will cause no integrity in the database. That is why it is important to enforce integrity. Let me also relate this membership table to the subscription table. And I'm going to enforce integrity and create. Now the three tables are like one table. And now they are related. I can save the changes and close the relationship here. Now let us make a small query here to show us, for example, information about one person. Okay, let's come to query design. I want to add membership table. I also want to add subscription table. And I want to add canteen table. Now, assuming I want to extract some data about a member, and I want all the details from the three tables. So let me start with the member. I want membership ID of a person, and also I want first name of that person. Then I want to know this member's subscriptions. Okay. Payment date and the amount this person subscribed. And I also want to know what that person consumed. I want to know how. Let me remove this. I want to know what that person consumed and the quantity, and the price of each. And I want to know the total amount that this person consumed by taking this quantity multiplied by price. So I will do some calculation here. I will zoom. So I want to pick, just write here amount. Then you put colon. I want to pick this quantity times what was consumed. quantity times the price of what was consumed. So I will just write this. This column header has a space between the price and the dollar sign. So I will use square brackets. Whenever there is a space in the column header, you have to enclose it with square bracket like that. And I will click OK. I will run this query now. Okay, you can see it has given me information from the three tables. Because the three tables are related, they are linked, or they are joined together. You can see here calculation is correct. These are two quantity of bottles of soda, each at $2. We get 4. Now this is the reason why we relate the tables, so that whatever we want we can get from the 3 or 2 tables which are joined. Let me go back to the design of this query and tell it to filter according to member M001. So in the criteria here, I only want information about M001. So when I run again, I get a report about M001 only. So let me go and save this M001 query, okay. That is how simple it is to create relationships in MS Access, so that we can use those relationships to extract information from different tables and put them together for the purpose of giving a certain report. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't, and see you again in the next video. Bye.